Hi, my name is Patrick, and we are going to be streaming some Unity 3D development today, a continuation of the previous work that I was doing rather, on the VR simulation. Just give me a moment here. I need to get together a few things. Make sure I've got my list of items that need to be worked on. And I apologize in advance. There's a lot of noise going on in the background today with everything going on in my neighborhood. So there are a lot of very chatty people and loud music. Which is, as it is. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And I'm going to get right to it. Where I left off last time was the Learning Colliders. Oh, yep. Okay, we didn't do that. We did that. Did we do that? No, I don't think we did that. We did the splash guard. That's a thing. Okay. We used the colliders for that. I think we did both the spars. We didn't do the horns. We did the mast. The aft mast. The mast steps. Didn't do the sails. The booms. Let's do the booms. The booms are pretty straightforward. Let's see here. This is a box collider. Okay, let's make this boom forward. And boom aft. Oops, come on. Boom aft. Okay. And we want to add what to these? We need to have a box collider and then the detect laser script. So let's go ahead and add our box collider. That's good, and then box collider. Oh, those are box colliders, but for this I think I wanted to do a mesh collider for the booms. So let me change that really quick. Oops, remove that. There we go. Mesh collider. Thank you. Whoop, no, not a filter. A collider. That's what we wanted. There we go. And our mesh is going to be the same. This is the forward boom, so it's this guy right here, which is extruded surface 1. Mesh renderer. Okay. Exterior surface. One. There's a lot of very similarly named things here. Was I doing this based off of the... I think it was the polysail fix. No. Definitely none of those. What is that even? Looks like line. Okay. It's gotta be that one. Okay. So we're gonna take this. We're gonna move it over here. Like that. And then we're going to have to tweak it slightly. That's not so bad. Looks like it's scaling in a bit. No, that's definitely not. Ah! This is gonna be tricky because it's got all kinds of odd rotations going on with it that throw it off ever so slightly. Okay, that's not so bad. Let's see here. Oh, right. Let's change our... Yeah. There we go. We're going to stretch you ever so slightly that way, maybe. Boop. Yeah, that looks okay. All right. Okay. Oops. Let's go back that way. There we go. Okay, yeah, just translate slightly down and slightly up. That looks pretty good. It's going to be hard to get that exact rotation and scaling. Oh, okay. And I can't see the... Oh, okay, yeah, that's got to go more to the side. Okay, that's fine. We can do that. More like there. That inside is just a bit off, though. Oh, that's a little better. Okay. Yeah, it's not easy to see all these parts without the... Oh, boy. We're just gonna approximate this best as we can. It's not gonna be exact. That's just how it is. No. Okay, yeah. Okay, we're gonna call that good. Okay, next thing we want to do is save, because saving is always good. And then we want to make sure that we set it. So off, off, on, off. Okay. Off, off, on, off. Right? Yeah, on, off, on. And then we got to put the info box in there. Where is my info box? Info box main, right? I think that was it. And then the part name in Hawaiian for the mast. That's the forward mast, right? Kia Hope is the aft mast. What's the forward mast? Aft mast. Halyard to do stern and pieced aft sail. Hope. Prow starboard mast step deck. Kia Hope aft mast. Kia Mua, there we go. Forward mast. Okay, cool. And now we do it for the aft one. All right, we need a mesh collider. And we need a learning laser. And we're going to turn those off. We're going to turn that one and that one on. We're going to add the info box. This one is going to be the Kia Hope, which is the aft mast. Okay. Pardon me. And then we need to set up the material. And we do that first, and we find out which one this is. This is the extruded surface 2. Okay. Oh wait, these aren't the masts. These are the these are the booms. This is important to be different. Pi is the boom. Okay, these are just called booms. So that's not masts, they're booms. Pi, that one word. Boom. Pi, boom. All right, and then the mesh is going to be extruded surface 2. Okay, I'm wondering. Yeah, those look the same to me. Okay, we're gonna move this here and then up here and forward like, and shrink it a lot. Okay. That looks pretty good. That one was a lot easier to place than the other one was. Now we just gotta rotate it a little into place. Boom. Yeah. No, okay, sort of. That's better than it was. Oh god, now it's all over the place though. This is always tricky. Okay. That's not what I'm trying to do though. I'm trying to rotate it along that axis. There we go. I'm gonna call that good. Okay, our booms are in place and should be working. Let's go ahead and give it a test run. Really quick. Turn control back on. Alright. This is our upwinter. Yes. Bye, boom. Boom. Very cool. Okay, awesome. In progress. Slowly but surely. Alright. And our booms are done. Did I do the deck? I don't think I did. Oh no, it looks I did. Okay, deck's done. Safety railing. Safety railing's gonna take a while. The Polycana. Okay. We're gonna have to add a few different colliders for this one. Let's see if we can't just make that. Easier for everyone. This is going to be the info box. This is going to be the Palekana and the safety railing. Right? Right. Yeah, that's the safety railing. Okay. So for the safety railing, we're going to have to duplicate a number of things here. So we're going to put in some mesh colliders. Actually, we can just do a bunch of box colliders. That'll make this easy. And then we can just duplicate it for each one because there's 2 of them. Okay, that's not awful. Then we can add a component and boom it across each one of those. Okay, cool. That's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. Okay, let's move it up there just to keep things on par. And we want to edit this collider to pull the whole thing down. No, edit the collider, please. There we go. Okay. We want it to be slightly larger than the object that it is surrounding, just so that it's easier to do. And we're going to go forward and backward here. All right. Forward to about there, and then backward to about there. Looks okay. Let's take a look at our top view just to make sure. That's way too wide, but that's okay. That's why we adjust this. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a bit wide. Let's bring that in some. There we go. Okily dokily, that's better. We can bring that up just a tad bit there and a tad bit there. And that looks spot on to me. Okay. Cool. First collider is done. Next, we're going to create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 box colliders. This is where things get tricky. I can move the whole collider, right? I can't. I kind of can, but it's weird. It's like I have to... Yeah. It is kind of strange like that. I don't know what happened there. That's a little weird. Hold on, let's remove this. That didn't make any sense. There we go. Okay. All right, that's not so bad. Okay. Coolio. Okay, bring you in a tad there. There we go. All right, that looks good to me. We're gonna add another collider. We're just gonna duplicate this component. How do we paste component? There we go. Okay. We want to take this one and we want to scoot it That, no, that away, come on. No, that's not what I wanted. That away? Nope. That away, there we go. Okay, cool. Actually, that looks good from top. There, well, we can't really see it very well from there, can we? Looks okay to me. All right. The safety railing does go below there, but I'm not gonna. Well, maybe I should. Hold on a sec. Okay, that's good. Let's edit this one too. We're gonna bring you down below to there. Right about there is good. Okay. And the next one, bring you up a little and make you line up. Cool. That looks good to me. We got a bunch of colliders going on here. Cool. Okay, we're gonna copy and paste that same component. Copy component, paste is new. Boom. And we're gonna slide this one along the z-axis to right about there. And then I think there's just two more. Nope, we got a lot more of those to go. Okay, well. I wanted that to be a little more forward. No. 7, 8, no, 7, 5, 6. Okay, that's good. Alright, copy component, paste is new. And we're gonna slide you down. Cool. Okay. Copy component. Paste is new. Come on. Up there we go. Alright. And that gives moves along the Z axis again. Cool. Okay. And we do it again. Copy paste. Move it up. And move along the Z axis too. That one's a little rough looking. Let's see if we can't fine tune that a bit. Because that looks like it's a little too far forward. 6, 0. 6, 1. There we go. Let me save work in progress. Okay. And we're going to... Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. That is what I meant to do. We're going to copy and paste is new. And edit. And then just slide down up. That is... Oh, 5. Here we go. Last one. So, copy paste is new. And slide the z-axis to right about there. That looks pretty good to me. Okay. Oops, I completely lost my safety railing. And we're going to actually take this whole object and we're going to call it safety railing starboard. Ah, come on. Okay, cool. Safety railings are done there. Next, we need to take the whole thing and duplicate it, and then call it safety railing port. And then move it, let's see here, to the opposite side, just like that. Looks good to me. Okay. Spot on. Oh, that looks slightly off. Let's get a little closer here. Ah, good enough. Railings are all fine. Okay, save and test run. Always got to do a little of that. It's okay. Polycana, hooray! Okay, cool. This is long going, but it is working. And we're gonna create a empty object there, and we'll just call it safety railings. And we'll move both of those in there. Perfect. Okay. Stage shrouds, cross beams, steering sweep, navigator's chair, solar panels. I thought I did solar panels already because those were really straightforward. Yeah, that's done. Navigator's chair. Okay. Navigator's chair is these two blocks here, and there's two of them. So I'm just going to do those in one go. There's no need to do a port and an aft. We'll just create two colliders and line them up for the applicable thing. So, learning. Nope, nope. Yup, yup. Info box main. And these are the, incidentally, the Kilo Hoku. So, Kilo. Oh, can I type Hawaiian in here? I forget. I think it screws up. Ho. Come on. Hoku. Yeah, it doesn't like it. I have to copy paste it from another text document. Hold on. That just requires me to open another text document. There we go. All right. Oops. Go. All right. Paste that in there. And or navigator's chair. Cool. And then we're going to add a box collider. And I'm actually going to take this whole thing and scoot it back this way. Then bring it up to about the level of these guys. Yeah, that works. All right. We're going to add two box colliders. And we're going to... Nope. Just zip that one over there. And zip that one over there. Start with this one. It needs to be flattened way down and way up. And then expand it out on the edges. Whoops. That's the problem with this, is it's very easy to click on the wrong thing. All right, let's get a perspective view here so I can get it correct. That looks pretty good to me. Okay, let's get a top-down view. And let's expand this out. Cool. Save that. Let's go edit the other one, which needs to be more this way. And like that. That. Okay. And then a side view, and we gotta shrink you way down. Way up. Okay, that should take care of that one. Looks like we've got colliders on both of our options here, so that's done. Cool. Navigator's chair is done, so it's okay. Steering sweep. Steering sweep, I'm gonna make a custom collider for, because that's gonna be a little bit messy otherwise. Nope, nope, yep, yep. Text info box. Save. Okay, we're gonna add a collider. We're gonna make a capsule collider. And the reasons for this will become apparent pretty quickly here. We're gonna move this over here. Is there a steering sweep step? I forget. I don't think there is. Do not believe that there is. The Hawaiian. And we're gonna expand this puppy like that. And we're gonna rotate it like this. And we're gonna go back to expand it some more. We'll get right at the end, and then we're gonna contract it. That didn't do what I wanted to. That one's the one I wanted to contract. There we go, big go link. It'll only let me contract it so far. That's interesting. Cannot go smaller than a certain size with capsule colliders, I suppose. All right, we're not going to do a capsule collider then. We're going to do a box collider because capsule doesn't want to work. Box collider. There we go. Although I guess I could have edited the collider at that point. It doesn't really make much sense for me to... Okay. No, let's do. Okay. Top-down view. We're going to shift you over to that way a teeny bit. There we go. Oh yeah, you definitely need to be smaller. Much smaller. And more rotated this way. Okay. Down a tad. Expand you out a teeny bit there. And all the way down here at the far end. And then we're going to just create another box at the bottom for the bottom part of the steering sweep. Whoops. Ay, ay, ay. Bring you down just a little bit. There we go. Okay, let's look from the top again. That looks pretty good to me. Not going to go overboard with this. Okay. Okay, then we'll add another box collider. And we're going to move this box collider. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to do that. Not that either. That sort of. This way, please. No, that's not doing what I want. That's doing what I want. Thank you. 1.1, 2. No, 1, 2, 1. There we go. Okay, and we're gonna edit the collider a bit. We're gonna bring it in on this end. We're gonna blow it up there and blow it down there, and then we're gonna look on top and see how completely wrong offset it is, which it is. That's how it goes. Okay, we're gonna bring you in there and over there. Perfect. Okay, looks good to me. All right, cool. Colliders are done. Let's move them above our object like they should be. And then let's put our name in. And this is the Hoe Uli, or the steering blade slash sweep. All right. Cool. That's done. Okay, so we've got our steering sweep. We've got our cross beams. Those are the Iakos. And there are a lot of Iako. So we're just going to do tons and tons of objects. I think there's, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Iako we got to make. So I'm not going to make 10. Well, I guess I could do 10 mesh colliders and then just move. No, that's going to be too much of a pain in the butt. I think I have to make 10 separate objects for this. I'm going to take out the lines, I think, because that's a lot of extra junk. We're going to take all those and disable them for now. All right, steering sweep, solar panels, navigator's chairs, cross beams. Decks done, booms are done, sails to be done, mast steps done, aft forward. Horns are done, spars are done, splash guards done, keels and end pieces, prows, and hulls. We're going to think about those because I'm not sure how I'm going to do those yet. But let's work on the cross beams. All right. We're going to make a cross beam. And we'll just number them from forward to back. We're going to need a mesh collider for this one and a learning laser. You can hear the acting going on in the background there. If you can hear it. Okay, this is a Okina Iako, which means I gotta type. Oh, can I do this just with the? No, it doesn't like it. I gotta copy paste it. Okay. Iako. Iako. There we go. Iako. And the English name is cross beam. Okay. I'm gonna slide that forward. And slide that up a little. Okay, cool. And now we gotta get the collider in there. So what is the collider for this guy? That is polysurface 2. And that's polysurface 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 4. Those are all the same, just we're just gonna go with polysurface 1. 2 rather. Okay, crossbeam 1. Poly surface 2. Okay, good. All right, now we just gotta line it up. And that needs to come down a tad, I think. Okay. That was quick. Now we just gotta copy this and paste it a bunch of times, and we're good. Okay. I also want to go back and redo the capitalization for a bunch of these because I think it needs to be fixed so that it correctly displays the information that I'm trying to. Okay. Let me see here. We are right. We just created that and we're done with it. So save, and we're now going to duplicate it and call it crossbeam 2. And then shift it back slightly so that it lines up with that one. Just a little bit farther back. There we go. Let's take a look at, I already renamed you to crossbeam 2. Come on. 2. Thank you. And you also need to be juggled back just a teeny bit. And from this side. Yes. A little bit more. Fine-tuning all the finely tuned things. I do want it to stick up from the surface a little bit, so. Alright, that's good. Cool. Duplicate, crossbeam 3. And we're gonna take you and move you back this way to here. All right. Next one is duplicate. Crossbeam 4. Back you go to the next one. Oops. All right. Save, duplicate. 5. All right. Another one in place. All right. Duplicate 6. Is there another one past that? There is. Okay. Save, duplicate. 7. Okay, and save, duplicate. 8. Nine, 10. Is there a double crossbeam? I don't think there is. Let's see here. No, there is not. Okay. What? I thought I... Oh, I didn't renumber it yet. 8. Didn't take the number. All right. 9. And 10. Okay, our crossbeams are all set up and done. That's good. Coolio. So now, whoops. Now, if I select crossbeams, I should get all 10. Perfect. Okay. So, that finishes the crossbeams. Got safety railings, deck, booms, sails. I gotta do sails. Sails are gonna be kind of messy because they're not really volume shapes per se. They're more like planes. Yeah, they're a bit weird. All the learning colliders at once. Looking very happy. On here. The other thing I want to do is highlight whenever something gets used. And that is something I'm going to have to add. a little bit later. All right, let's go through and prow. Okay. All right, as always, we need to test all the things. So let's go through and test all the things. Yeah, water pointer thing. Okay. Cross beams. Cool. Yeah, I gotta definitely capitalize like the spar. Well, that's a little different because that's also a highlightable like object. All right, cool. Oops. Okay. We did the splash. Yeah, that's on there. Spars, horns, masts. I'm going to create a new object here just for the masts. Masts. Excuse me. Singular mast. Okay. We're going to do the sails next. So we have two sails. Sail forward. Go ahead and just move that up there. And sail aft. We're just going to move over here. Good enough. Okay. I think what I'm going to do for the sails, I'm going to try a few different things first. For the forward sail, this object is P-plane 1. So we're going to add the laser learning thing. And this is the forward sail Pea or La Ihu. The aft sail is also Pea, except it's La Hope. So Pea La La Ihu, or the Pea La Hope. Okay. Oops. I want to save that. I just want to copy it. There we go. Forward sail. Let's go ahead and add the script for this. And this is the La Hope, or aft sail. Sail forward, sail aft. Okay, cool. And we were going to add a mesh collider. It was P cube 1. No, maybe not. What was it? P plane 1. Okay. That is a mesh filter, P plane 1. P plane 1. Okay. I want to rotate this 90 degrees along the, oops, no, 90 degrees along the x-axis, along the z-axis, negative 90 degrees along the z-axis. It's always interesting getting this to behave. And then, no, not E, just good. Then press E while having this, there we go. Okay, that's sort of what I'm going for here. Yeah. Okay. It is tricky to see anything doing this. Okay, we're going to line this up with the masts as much as possible because I'm not going to be perfect here. Whoops. Oh, I hate it when that happens. Always clicking on things that I don't want to be clicking on. Thank you, Unity, so much for your help. Okay, rotate you just so slightly that way so that you line up with everything nicely. Thank you. And down a tad. That's about as good as that's gonna get, I think. All right. Let's give you a test run, shall we? You don't want to see it, huh? Okay, hold on a second. This might be one of those, like, the mesh is not working because it's not... Oh, that's just weird. Well, let's see what it does. No, it doesn't. It's like hitting it, but it's not activating on it, if that makes sense. Oh, I didn't set any info box for the darn thing. Hold on. That's an important detail to be setting up. All right, let's go back to there. Let's uninflate the mesh just to make sure. Okay. Okay, now it works. And it's not super accurate, but it doesn't need to be. It just has to be accurate enough. Okay, cool. Just accurate enough. That, my mind is plenty accurate enough. Okay. Now let's do the aft sail. And that object is p-plane 2. All right. We're going to add a mesh collider. P-plane 2. Okay, we're going to do this one. Negative 90 on the x-axis, and then we are going to stretch the living daylights out of this thing. Okay, cool. Okay, let's move up a bit, please, and then back a bit, please. And then stretch it some more out. Okay. Okay. A little bit more. And then a little bit more here. Okay, I think that does it. Now we just got to tilt it this way a tad and then move it inward. And I think we're pretty good. We could actually take this whole thing and rotate it slightly that way if we really wanted to. There we go. Okay, let's save that. I just want to take a look at this other one because I wanted to remember. Yeah, I did about the same thing for that one. Because we're not going to get a super accurate reading on this, just close enough. Okay, let's give it a test run for the aft sail. Boom, aft sail. Okay, cool. We've got all the parts of the VA going on now. I think that mostly wraps the hard parts. Let's create an object. Sails. Alright. These two go to there. Save. Awesome. Okay, now we have to decide what we're going to do with the hulls. Because there's two hulls. There is a hull, and then, okay, what we're going to do for the hulls, I think, is we're going to make them as, I think we're going to make them as individual objects, port and starboard. And then we're going to just do the hull itself, I think, because the mesh is a bit weird for the hulls. I can't just import it and have it work. Unfortunately. Doesn't work that way. So we're going to have to make colliders for each one individually. So, laser. Yes, yes, no, no. This is the port hull. Comma, port hull. And then the starboard hull. Where's the starboard hull on my list? There it is, the Akea. I'm gonna have to type that one out. Akea. Starboard hull, let's add the laser. Get rid of those, add those, call it good. Okay. Port is left, starboard is right. So let's go ahead and line this up with its respective sides. Good enough. Okay, we're gonna create... Yeah, it goes all the way down in there. There's also a name for these cross braces under here, but I don't have that with me, unfortunately. There is, however, a name for it. Okay, let's go ahead and save. Let's add our text boxes. Okay, porthole. Let's add a couple box colliders. Okay. This is going to be over here. Then we're going to edit the collider. We're going to look down from the top and make it really long, because it has to collide the whole hull, essentially, and then we're going to make it really narrow. because it's just going to be to there. And then we need to look at it from the side and sink it down. Okay. And then we're going to add a duplicate. Paste component is new. And take this new component and shift it over this way. Make sure that we look at it from the top down and that it looks good. I'm going to edit that collider. Yeah, that's good. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay, we're good. And then I kind of want to add a... See, that only does the sides of the holes, though. It doesn't take care of the prow. The prow is the forward part. Ama, Akea, Manuhope, aft end piece. Pea Hope. No, that's the sails. Manu Ihu, and then the Manu. Okay. Oh, they're both the same thing. That's right. Okay. Okay, we're gonna call this the hull. I think that's good. We're gonna then take this and this. And we're going to copy this. And then we're going to delete this object. We're going to duplicate this object, and we're going to call it starboard hull. And fill in our Akea. And then we're going to take the whole thing and shift it right over here, where it's supposed to be. Bada bing, bada boom. Whoops. There we go. Okay, okay, okay. And I would say that looks pretty good to me. Is that high enough? Oh, that's not high enough. Hold on, we gotta go up. There we go. That definitely was not high enough to cover the end pieces of that. I don't think. Okay, that's a bit too high. Let's bring you down just ever so slightly. There we go. Let's look at the port hull, because I think that one was not high enough either. Yeah, definitely not. I just assumed it was at a good height previously, but it wasn't. It was awful. Okay. Let's bring you down just a tad there. Okay. Looks good to me. Let's get back into, whoops, not isometric perspective view. Cool. Hey, Raban89, thank you. Sorry if I sound dumb, but is this a game or a visual presentation of something historic? So this is meant to be an educational tool for people who are learning about the Hawaiian double-hulled sailing canoe called the Hoku, and you can visit their website, and I'll go ahead and type that in here for you in a moment, at hokulea.com. The website for this project in particular is at kilohokuvr.com. And please ask any additional questions that you might have. I'll be glad to do the best that I can to answer them. Okay. So we've got both our hull pieces, and we've got the Ama and the Akea, which is the starboard and the port hull pieces. We have to make the bow end pieces, which is going to be the prow Now the prow is the section of the va'a, or the boat. Nice, I'm Norwegian, so I don't know much about Hawaii. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. My ancestors are actually from Finland, which is not the same thing as Norway, but, you know, not too terribly far away from there. This right here is the prow, so this is the hull, and the front end piece of the boat, or the va'a, is the prow, and then this is the this is the end piece, and this is the prow, the very jutting forward part. So we're gonna have to make a collider for this section and this section right here. And we're just gonna do big boxes for that. We're gonna make it pretty straightforward. So there's a bow end piece, which is the two front ones, and then there's a stern end piece, which is the two back ones right here. So the purpose of this simulation is to teach people about how Native Hawaiians originally were able to sail and navigate across the Pacific Ocean without any modern day navigation instruments. And I can show you, if you give me a moment here, the actual part that lets you see how that works. So if we go to our stargazing scene here and load that up, and I start the simulation, then you can see we are in the middle of the night sky, and we can look around, and we can point at constellations, and it highlights them for us. So this is sort of the learning portion of the whole thing, is we can look at the night sky and we can see where constellations are relative to where we are, and relative to these words around the horizon. And these are called, this is the Hawaiian star compass. So Akea right there is north, and right by north is the North Star, Ursa Minor. So this tool is, like I said, meant to help educate people about how people navigate, or how ancient Hawaiians and modern day Hawaiians, because all of this tooling is built off of a modern understanding of how ancient Hawaiians used to navigate. The methodology was unfortunately lost over time. But this tooling is meant to help people learn how it works, essentially. So we can also turn on these little, I think this is it. Yeah, we turn that on and off. And then you can, of course, reach over, and if I can reach it, touch this, and then we can sail. We can actually rotate the boat, and we can look around and see that we're moving, and the water is sailing, and there's an island. Well, there would be an island behind us. It's turned off right now. But we can actually sail the boat around, and it looks cool. So it's kind of an immersive simulation in that regard, so that people can learn how to do it. Let me stop the simulation there and go back to the other scene that I was working on. And this part of the simulation that I'm working on right now is meant to be the education. Explore the boat, learn what all the parts are called. You can teleport around the docks. You can point at each one of the parts, and it will tell you what it is in both English and Hawaiian. So it's meant to be the how do we learn about the boat itself versus the methodology used. Nicely made. I've got a VR headset myself and use both UE4 and Unity3d mostly for hobby projects. This looks well made. Well, it's not just, I should clarify that it's not just me who works on this. We have a team of 4 people. I am one of those people. And it was done at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. It was actually part of my master's thesis, which I finished this past December and graduated from. And now we're trying to polish it up and get it out there so people out in the world can use it. If you don't mind my asking, which VR headset or headsets have you experimented with or used? I am curious to know. Because I always ask people, if you're doing VR development or doing hobby stuff or even just poking around, what is it that you're making? Or what is it that you are doing your VR work on? Let me go and get my learning colliders back open here so I can work on the bow end piece. So this is going to be forward and up. And we're going to zoom in on that and make sure it's nice and centered there. And then we're going to create a collider for this one and a collider for this one. How did you get into learning Unity3d? And I've got an Oculus Rift S. Awesome. Right now, this simulation only works on the HTC Vive, but we are working on porting it to work on both the Oculus Rift S as well as the Valve. Well, it will work on the Valve Index because you can map the button inputs using their tooling automatically. So that will just work out of the box, I hope. How did I get into learning Unity3d? I've done it a number of different ways. Parts of it were I took a class in graduate school that was VR and AR or virtual reality and augmented reality programming. I think they've retitled it to mixed reality programming because it kind of encompasses all of those. And I've just kind of gone with it ever since. If you want to look for a class specifically, one that I did take that was helpful, let me see if I can find it. Game dev. Okay. If you go to this website, I found their courses very useful in getting a hold of Unity3d, and I also have subscribed to their Unreal course. I'll put that in chat for you right now. The content is really good. They keep it updated and fresh. They have a whole Discord server as well as forums and other places you can go to ask questions, get input. They give you a really good overview of how to do things in Unity3d. I should stress, however, that they do not have a VR course for Unity3d, but they do have a VR course for Unreal. And I have not yet learned Unreal. I've barely tinkered with it. I've installed it and I've created minor objects in it, and I've made very, very basic, like, look, I can walk around stuff. But I have not yet started to do VR in it. That's the next thing I want to start picking up, is doing development in virtual reality in Unity3d. And if you, like I said, if you have any additional questions, please feel free to ask, and I will do the best that I can to answer them. One thing that we're using as part of this project is a toolkit called VRTK. And VRTK allows you to create interactions and teleportation and all those other things very easily in Unity3d. I believe that they are working on a newer version, although it has been some time since they have actually created any info about that. But that takes care of my laser pointer and my teleportation and my interaction, so I can pick things up, I can move them, I can do all that kind of stuff out of the box, so I don't have to code those things from scratch necessarily. And that's primarily because I'm lazy. I don't want to have to create all those things from scratch. So for example, if I want to be able to point to something and have it do something on the screen, I have a script over here, let's see, learning laser, that basically creates a whole object here. I set up a few toggle boxes. I set what info box I want it to show up in on the screen. And then I can put my name of my pieces. So this is the Manu Ihu, or the bow end piece. Okay. What I love with Unity over Unreal is Unreal is heavy on PCs, while Unity you can mock up a game in minutes and don't need to focus on stuff like render pipeline or shaders until later on. This is true. There are also advantages to Unreal in that you can do much more powerful things with it. The more recent versions of Unreal, and I should say like the most recent version, because that's really the only one I've recently messed around with, blueprints allow you to do all kinds of things very quickly without having to worry about some crazy things. I will also say that my primary use of Unity on Unreal is I do the programming part. I am very much not a texture person. I can import textures and apply them to things, and I can import and create lighting for scenes and things like that, but I am not a render person or any sort of those are not my strengths, shaders or anything like that. So I usually have we have somebody else on our team that does that, or I try to figure it out. So for example, our ocean simulation in this, when you see when the VR headset is running, is something that we bought in the Unity store. So somebody else made this and we got it for use in our simulation, simply because we want to make a cool boat and have it sail around, but we don't want to have to take the time it's going to take to create a realistic looking ocean and all of the stuff that goes with it. Blueprints are a major plus since I only know basic programming. Yes, I agree with you there. Okay, let's go ahead and add our box colliders. We're going to create a collider here, and we're going to slide it over this way. And then we're going to add another box collider here, and we're going to slide it over this way. Okay, and we're going to edit let's go ahead and go into a side and then top view, and then go into isometric so that we don't have to worry about that. And let's make this a bit wider, a bit longer. And then we'll do this one and make it a bit wider, a bit longer. we can narrow that up a little bit too. It doesn't need to be super crazy accurate there. We'll just make it intersect with the end of the thing there. Okay, and then let's jump to the side view. Let's, oh, I need to get in closer so I can see it. There we go. Let's stretch that up to there. And we'll do the same thing with the other one and stretch it up to the same dimensions. Okay, and then bring it in just a tad there. Okay, and if we look at it from the Z direction, it looks good to me. It is a bit like it's way bigger than the object that we're looking at. So what I'm going to do is we're gonna half this, and then same thing with this one. Half it, and then let's look at it from the side, and we'll bring it way down because I don't have a mesh for this that I can easily import and create the sizing for. So we're going to create a bunch of box colliders and kind of tile them, so to speak, along the length of this thing. And it's not going to be great, but it's better than nothing, in my opinion. And we actually do want to make this so that it is going to go down a bit here, because it's going to cover the whole bow end piece. There we go. Yeah, right about there looks good. We'll bring that to there. And the other one also looks good from here. Cool. Is there any particular type of simulation that you're interested in making or want to work on or anything along those lines? Let's copy this and paste as new. And then this is going to move in the Z direction like that. And then it's going to move up like that. Yeah, that's really messy, but better than nothing. Okay. Let's go here and we can shrink this in because it does not need to be that big. We're kind of cheating at this, but you know, I don't work with this, usually just hobbies and spare time. Got it. Are there any VR simulations that you really enjoy or have liked playing, or games or anything along that line, those lines, I should say? We're gonna bring that all the way down to there and shrink that down to there. Okay, that looks good. So we'll take this one and we'll duplicate it. Paste component is new. And then we'll take this one and slide it over here. Just like that. Okay, looks good to me. I'm going to call that good. So let's change back to this and save it. It has the hike in Iceland. I don't know that one. Do you know the name of it, or can you pull it up? All right, let's make sure this works. All right, if I point way over, oh, my controller turned itself off. Hold on, it does that because it's on safe mode. Okay, if I point way over there, there we go. We've got the bow end piece. Cool. Got the polyvi or polykai, the polycana, our sails, our booms, our masts, our deck, our hull. Pola, all the parts are working really quick. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, links are turned off in chat at the moment. Let me see if I can enable that. Sorry, just a moment. How do I temporarily enable links? Oh, that works. Okay, cool. I'm gonna look that up really quick here on Steam, since I have Steam in front of me. Okay. Okay, cool. There's a free version and there is a DLC for the free version. Okay. That looks really high fidelity. I like these kinds of sims, and I like to look at all kinds of different things. Okay. Cool, I'm gonna add this to my download queue to install later. Thank you for the recommendation, I appreciate it. And thank you also for the follow. I'm sorry I don't really have any notifications on my screen when things like that go off. Okay, so our bow end piece is done. Technically, our stern end piece should be similar, but it's a slightly different shape. So we're going to duplicate this. And then we're going to take the whole thing and move it backwards. And then let's try rotating it 90 degrees. Or 180 degrees. Let's see here, 180. No, that rotated along the wrong. We want to rotate along the y-axis. There we go. And we should just be able to do this and then tweak the colliders a little bit, and then we're good to go. Because that looks pretty good to me already. I like to follow devs. Thank you. I don't often stream my dev work on here. I started to do it because I was curious about sharing some of this and documenting it as well, because we have, like I said, as part of our work, we try to share and teach how all of this works as well for other people. So one of my main interests in programming is user interfaces in virtual reality, or programming user interactions in virtual reality, and how do people interact with things in virtual spaces that you can create for them. And part of that as well is observing how other people have created interactions. And so this is going to be the stern end pieces. And what is that called for the stern? Manu Hope. Hope. There we go. This is going to be end piece stern now. Part of starting to stream this on here was to get myself to you know, share knowledge. That's the whole point. Okay. Okay, that's good. And I think this is the other one. Let's just go ahead and do this, and then this, and then I can just make sure it's the same height. Perfect. And let's do a top-down view. Those look good to me. I'm not really going to screw with that very much. I think that's pretty good on the whole. Okay, cool. Okay, let's save that. And we're not going to do the prow and we're not going to do the keel, mostly because neither of these objects are really easily visible from the surface of the Va'a, because you have to kind of be underwater to even see them, because the prow is this part right here, and the keel is the very bottom center of the boat where it curves. And nobody's going to really be able to point to that or look at it, because we're not able to lift the canoe out of the water. Although that may, you know, that may be something that we add at a later time. So I think that's it. What I want to do now is change where the text appears for the user, because we don't want it showing up right in the middle of the screen. We want it showing up kind of the left. And so didn't the Unity work on their own visual scripting system? As far as I know, they did. I've never used it, but there is some sort of a shader pipeline or other thing that you can use to do that, but I myself have not used it. I'm not familiar with it. Okay. I think that this is where our info box is, so let's focus on that. And we want the text to show up on the left side, first of all. So let's make our alignment left aligned. Let's make our placement on the left side of the box. Is that gonna? I think that might do it. Position. Yeah, let's try that and see what happens. This is gonna take some finagling to get it right. I've never used it myself yet. All right, let's see where it shows up now. That's much better. So now it's not in the middle, and we can easily see everything being rendered. That's the longest one. I need to make the text box a bit larger so it doesn't do that. Okay, awesome. So we're going to rename the opea so that it shows up correctly. Yeah, we'll make those bigger so that it's more easily visible. Okay. So we want to make the text box width larger. Let's do it at a width of 600. See how that does. That looks better to me. Okay, good. And then we wanted to change the spars because the spars name needs to be capitalized. So let me copy this. And I can't type Hawaiian language characters inside of this, so I have to do it outside. Now it's capitalized. There we go. Okay, let's give it another go. That looks better. That looks a lot better. And it doesn't like crazy overflow now. And that looks good too. Cool. Okay, I think that's it. I think I'm done with this part of the simulation as a whole. Okay. Awesome. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to go ahead and commit the changes to our central repository, add remainder of colliders for learning. Dockside scene and publish. Yes, please save. Okay, cool. And those changes are now live for the rest of the team to work on if they need to. Awesome. So, the simulation is like 95% finished. One more person has to make one more change, and then we have to make a sweep of the whole thing to make sure that everything looks correctly. So all of the green shaded things are all the things that I added that people can point at on the canoe and identify what those parts are. And some of them don't line up perfectly, but they don't really have to, as long as it's close enough. It's good enough for use for learning. So that will wrap up what I was working on to get this done. And that feature is now complete. So that is it for me for today. Whoops, I don't need to look at that. That's something else entirely different. Thank you so much for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it. I am going to go ahead and send a raid over to one of my other friendly streamer people who might also be doing some work. So let's see who else is streaming. Wow, a lot of people are streaming right now. Let's see here. We'll go ahead and send a raid over to Radical who is playing some Magic the Gathering. Thank you guys again for stopping by to watch. I will likely be back on Sunday, this Sunday, with my next continuing game stream in which I will be playing the game that I can never remember the name of, but I totally have in front of me. Life is Strange. That's what the game is. Life is Strange. So I will be starting the game Life is Strange, which I have never played before. And I'm looking forward to giving it a spin. Thanks again for stopping by. Take care, stay safe out there, and aloha.